What's the tasty sounding war that you've ever heard of? I'll go first. Have you ever heard of the pastry war between France and Mexico? Hi, I'm Teresa, the Unhinged History co-host. And I've got a crazy story for you about the pastry war and how Santa Anna lost his legs. One leg multiple times. So it's in the 1820s and Mexico is new and they're feeling their self and they're just trying to get everybody to recognize that they are an official country. And France keeps saying, no. Not only are they saying, no, they're saying, hey, we're actually going to just exploit you for mines. Meanwhile, Santa Anna is like rising to power and he is overthrowing everybody in Mexico. And then in 1828, there's a lot of political chaos where there's riots going through the streets. Soldiers just pour into all kinds of businesses, including a French pastry shop. And these drunken soldiers just wreck it. So Ray Montel, the owner of the shop, he goes to the Mexican government and he goes, hey, I'm going to need 60,000 pesos to get this fixed. Now, some sources say that the actual damages were anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 pesos, so 60,000 is quite exorbitant. And Mexico just ignores him. Meanwhile, every time Santa Anna gets in trouble, he just retires from office and puts his vice president in control and then leaves. And then he would come back. But then when he gets in trouble again, he just puts his vice president back in presidency and he retires. And honestly, I kind of like that for him. So all this is going on and Ray Montel is complaining for 10 years about his broken pastry shop. Finally, he gets a hold of the French king and he is like, yo, this Mexican government is just really just doing me dirty. And the French king is like, bet, because they owe me millions anyhow. And Santa Anna had been borrowing money from the French so that he could have this war with the U.S. so that he could just keep going in and out of favor. So when Ray Montel shows up and says he wants 60,000 pesos, he's like, no, you want 600,000. So if you thought it was kind of priced up from when it was 10 grand. So not only did King Louis Philippe say that he wants 600,000, he sent some warships. And the warships close off all of the ports to Mexico. It is a full-on embargo. And Mexico's like, how are you wanting us to pay the bills? You're actually cutting off our ways to make money, and now you want us to pay with what? We've shooken the couch cushions. And so they go head-to-head in battle, and that's when Santa Anna ends up getting shot with grape shot in his leg, and he kind of loses it. It's amputated that time. Over a 5-month engagement, the French end up losing 8, and the Mexicans end up losing 200. So not a lot, but still a lot more than what the French were losing. Now, I should say that Santa Anna, when he lost his leg, he ended up giving it a full-on military burial. And now that the 5-month campaign has ended, Santa Anna digs up his leg and does this really horrendous PR blitz. He builds his leg a monument. In 1844, people dig up his leg, tear down the monument, and drag the leg through the streets. So he runs off to Cuba. It's 2 years later that the U.S. declares war on Mexico for the Texas independence, but Texas had been its own independent state. It's messy. Somehow the U.S. ends up sneaking Santa Anna back into Mexico, and now he has a prosthetic leg, which gets captured from American soldiers, and it's currently on display at the Illinois State Museum.